What's going on, guys? Zedd here, bringing you another TEKKEN 8 video. This one's just going to be a fun one. I'm basically going to share with you 5 just random obscure pieces of tech with against 5 different characters as Claudio, things you maybe know, maybe you don't know. And the reason being is this came up on my stream the other day. I did something versus Kazuya, which will be one of the ones I show, and someone went, "Oh, what the heck was that?" And then I went and showed him, and it kind of inspired me to make this video. So just without further ado, here are 5 random obscure pieces of tech. They're obviously not the only pieces of tech I know, but enjoy it nonetheless. So as mentioned in the intro, our first tip is just going to be against Kazuya. This is his down forward 1+2, I think it is. I don't know, I have it recorded. And so it's this move right here. Now, interestingly enough, this move, you know, it only beats this. It doesn't beat anything else in the down forward 1 string, and none of other Claudio's ones do work. So if you go to hop kick this, for example, you get hit. If I go to down back 1+2, I get hit. But if I up forward 2, it misses. I don't know why this works. I don't know how this works, but for whatever reason, up forward 2 beats this. And this is actually kind of important because all of a sudden, you get a random heat engager for fun. So yeah, there's the obscure tip number 1. Kazuya down forward 1-2 or 1+2, whatever it is. Up forward 2 just goes right through it, over it. I don't even know. For our second tip, it is going to be regarding Jack's down back 1+2, which is this move right here. This is -18. It is incredibly difficult to punish. Most characters can't. And from what I was told, the only thing Claudio could do was heat burst. Even then, it had to be at sort of, you know, range 0. And so what I discovered was that you could actually do an instant while running 2. The problem is it has to be frame perfect. Now, this is a recent discovery. I was only able to land this once. There we go. And so that's how it's done. For our third tip, this will be regarding Leo. And this one is a bit more well known from the Claudio community, that being the back 1+2 is, for whatever reason, this move here. And even if they cancel it, you can hop kick in the middle here. And presumably this is because the second mid is quite a high hitbox, and Claudio has some pretty hefty crouching frames after his hop kick, or rather at the start of his hop kick. However, it turns out that specifically after back 1, you can also hop kick the back 1-4. This third option here is just back 1+2 into the duck, but this one here, back 1-4, the timing is tricky. Like, right, so if you gotta do it too late, that hit me, right? Right there. The fourth tip is related to Law and his 3+4 string. That's this one right here. So this string, as you can see there on block, it's -13, and it also has an extension with the 4. It's the duckable high, and if he goes for that high, it's very risky. But if you go to punish this one, you know, you might or might not get hit depending on what you're doing. Now, what you can do is if Allah likes this move and he's going for the follow-up here, right, you can jab him and float him out of it, right? But in order to try to get you know, a more optimal punish, right? Some characters could probably get a better punish. For Claudio, we kind of have to, like, we don't get the 13 frame. That's great. It's okay. We get this, right? But, you know, with Claudio, there are more valuable tools we can use more often than not. So it's not so much an obscure piece of tech as it is advice. What I want you to consider is that when you float with Claudio, one of the best moves you can float with is forward 2. Okay, and that's because we can go for, like, it doesn't add a whole ton of scaling. So you can do something like this. And that's consistent for 47 damage, right? Now, what you can do versus this string against Law is then also punish it with forward 2-2. But here's what I want you to consider and practice. I want you to try interrupting and jabbing and then reacting to whether or not he does the follow-up, right? So set one to the 3+4, the other one to the 3+4-4. Always start with forward 2, but I want you to essentially float confirm into the combo or finish the forward 2-2. Now you can do this by basically waiting to see, while you're doing forward 2, is he doing another animation, right? So it would look a little something like this, right? That's a float, and you go for that, right? Combo. That's a punish, forward 2-2. That's a float combo. That's a, oh, see, I messed it up there, right? See what I mean? So if you can get good at that, and, you know, the moment you see this move, not that it's super common, because it is an interruptible string, but still, regardless, I think it's important to try to optimize it with Claudio in general, and I think it's kind of a fun one to learn, especially if you're at the lower to mid ranks. Definitely worth learning in my opinion. So check with that forward 2, confirm it to the forward 2-2 or the float combo. And this last tip is not necessarily against Claudio, but it's just about Claudio himself. This is what I've only recently discovered. Someone was talking about it in the Claudio Discord, and I thought I'd check it out, and yeah, it seems kind of cool. It seems tough to set up though. So I'm in heat right now, and I have the Claudio set to on punish, do just a down jab. This works with standing jab as well, but it turns out that Claudio's heat smash, that becomes a low, or sorry, no kidding, becomes a launcher if the first hit trades. Now, because it's an 18 frame move, you can set that up depending on what you're doing, but for argument's sake, let's say that I'm +8 and I go for this and they're going to try to dick jab, right? Now, if you go to do while running 2, you'll notice that's +6. But if you do while running 1 + 2, that's +8. So, you can do this. Launch. Like that. Alright. Now, is this a bit weird tech? Yeah. And is it very very expensive heat? Yeah. But it is tech nonetheless, and what it means is that if you push the opponent to the wall or something, or close to it, right, with this, and you know you have enough heat still for the burst, or the smash, if they go to stop your pressure to get away from the wall, you're going to launch them anyway. And if the low connects, you're going to break them through the wall anyway, or splat them against the wall anyway. So, it's a bit obscure, it is weird, but it does work, and it is real. So, play around with that. There are ways to set this up as well. You know, if the opponent's minus as well, then if you think they're going to mash, then you could play with this, right? Like, for example, if they do something that's -7 into a crouch state and they go for like a while standing 4, then you could do this and trade and get the launcher regardless. So the low, if it trades, is a launcher. That's the key takeaway, the low heat smash that is. So there you have it, 5 random obscure pieces of tech or knowledge or things that are, you know, good. And Claudio is, you know, he's in an interesting spot in the current state of the game. By interesting, I mean not super good. So, you know, squeaking out any optimizations we can is super nice. And yeah, if you like that kind of stuff, let me know. Happy to make another one. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out for now.